Broadcasting live from Cleveland, Ohio, this is Scott Allen with a breaking news update. Amazon eyeing purchase of AMC as latest acquisition move. In a potentially game-changing move for the entertainment industry, sources say that Amazon is in talks to acquire AMC Entertainment Holdings. This acquisition give Amazon a significant foothold in the movie theater business as well as access to AMC's streaming platform, AMC Plus. If successful, the deal would mark another major acquisition for Amazon following its purchase of MGM last year. And with that, let's look at that news. But first, another special report on, oh boy, another special report here. We're tracking this. We are tracking this development. So it's not every day that we get the chance. Well, actually, it is, but it's it's not every day we get the chance to see a channel from birth like this, um, from its infancy all through its stages and eventual death. We're witnessing that now. This is history in the making here. So this is a part of a new series of covering covering the life of an AMC grifter. So let's get into this here. Last night we looked at the first video by Sojka, aka AMC Fundamental Man. So there's a new video, and we're gonna take a look at it, shall we? Let's go. Let's do it. Oh, sorry. Let's kick it off. There we go. Let's kick it off. All right, here we go. Are you ready for this? Boy, I wasn't. All right, here we go.
One.
Hey guys, it's Chris Soika here, talking about the greatest investment of the 21st century, AMC. So, what makes this the greatest investment of the 21st century? It's not that it's just a movie theater company or that it has this massive markup on popcorn. The profit margins are 1,300%. It's actually the AMC apes, a 3.5 million person army of retail consumer investors
Army
dedicated to driving AMC out of bankruptcy, into solvency, and into a place where it could reissue its dividend, which it went away with in 2019. Now, people say that it's impossible, that the company's going bankrupt. I can tell you right now, AMC has never been healthier. And people are going to the movies.
Whoa, AMC has never been healthier. Okay. So we're keeping with our tradition here. It's a new tradition, but all traditions were new at one point. So we're witnessing the birth of a tradition. In the first minute of the video, mistruths. AMC has never been healthier. Uh, I'm not so sure that that's true, but okay, I'll give him that one.
Tell you right now, AMC has never been healthier, and people are going to the movies like you wouldn't even imagine.
Oh, I can imagine it. All right.
John Wick broke all its records for its franchise recently. We've got a
John Wick broke all its records for the franchise. What does that have to do with AMC again? I'm not so sure.
massive amount of money per patron at our concession stands. Our revenue streams are.
This is interesting that he's using the word "our." So he really has taken possession of this. He really has taken ownership, one could say. Model 3 dude says massive markup on popcorn. So that should be bullish, right? That's a bullish note. Maybe. And AMC is healthier than its CEO. strong as a horse. So he's eating too much of those hot dogs and hamburgers and all that stuff. All those delicious milkshakes, right? Okay,
are solidifying right now. We've built
go back a little
per
bit.
patron at our concession stands. Our revenue streams are solidifying right now. We've built new revenue streams. We've added
Popcorn,
2,600 Walmarts, which will offer our popcorn in stores ready to go.
ready to go. You don't even have to wait for them to pop it. That's amazing. 2,600 Walmarts. Okay. All right. That's a lot of exposure. A lot of people at those Walmarts have never heard of AMC, so that'll be first exposure for them. So AMC is performing a 1 to 10 verse split because all systems are a go for launch. Basically, yeah. That's what I can gather here. The 1 to 10, the 10 to 1 or whatever, 1 for 10, that's just icing on the cake. That's just going to make the MOAS 10 times bigger.
We are
10 million per share.
absolutely crushing it in this investment as we speak. But the
Crushing it in this investment. Uh, Usually the way that you gauge that is by the returns of the stock, if you're talking about an investment. So, somebody's being crushed. I don't know if you could say that you're crushing it. I mean, there's crushing. There is crushing. Crushing is occurring. Yes. Okay, fine. I agree with you. You are getting crushed.
stock does not say that. The stock says that the company's not doing well, and that is for obvious reasons.
Not true. That is actually not true. Let's listen again.
In this, we are absolutely crushing it in this investment as we speak. But the stock does not say that. The stock says that the company's not doing well, and that is for obvious reasons.
Okay, I'm gonna ignore the last part for obvious reasons. Because you know how I feel about obvious, but obviously. So, he said that they're crushing their investment and that the stock does not reflect that. The stock indicates that the company is what?
In this investment as we speak. But the stock does not say that. The stock says that the company's not doing well.
The stock says that the company is not doing well. Well, no, that's not what it says, actually. Um, so, and this is a common mistake that people make. You can't really fault him for this, but he's coming on here as Mr. Fundamental. So it's fundamental that he understand that the stock market is a forward-looking apparatus. The stock valuations do not reflect what is currently happening or what has happened. Okay, and that's it's like I said, it's not something that everybody thinks about, but that's the reality. The stock market is forward looking. It is looking into the future and saying, okay, what do we think between the next 3 to 30 months, somewhere in that range, and it varies, it changes, and it's variable. But in general, where in that 3 to 30 month time horizon in the future do we see what do we see this company doing? What do we see the numbers looking like then? And let's back it back, back it back. Let's backtrack to now based on that future cash flow. So again, looking into the future and then discounting it to today. So like a discounted cash flow is a way for stocks to be valued. This is a way that fundamentalists um, would look at this and they would say, okay, what do we see in the next I don't know, 24 months? next year. That that time horizon is variable depending on sort of what's happening and the sector that it's in and other things. But the point is that it doesn't reflect now. It doesn't reflect the recent past. It reflects the expectations for the future, and then take that and rewind it to today, now, and there's your valuation. So what the stock indicates then, what the stock price says is a little bit different then in this context, right? Uh, it doesn't. I say, contrary to what Mr. Fundamental is saying, that stock says that the company's not doing well. I say the stock says that the company will not do well. The company is not expected to do well. And that's a big difference because why would we care about now? Really? Why would we care about now? Investing. We're investing in something. You are investing in your fill in the blank. Okay. Back to the fill in the blank. Okay. Uh, future is the word. So it's about future expectations, backtracked, discounted to today, but it's about expectations. And I mean, do you have great expectations or do you have, um, uh, you know, terrible expectations? Or are you Uncle Rico and you're living in the past? If only Adam Aaron had, if if only the apes had allowed Adam Aaron to dilute the stock in 2021 when the stock was highly overvalued, he could have sold shares at a higher valuation and the company would have raised more money, would have done better in the long run, which the long run, that's the future. Okay. That's the future. So it's all really connected here. It's all connected to the fact that the apes fucked it up, really. I mean, let's be honest here. They fucked it up. They fucked it up. They fumbled. Oh, I should have put that in the title. Anyway, um, but it's important to remember that the stock market is attempting to look forward. It doesn't care about what's happening now. That's how you can get these situations that seem to make no sense. And I see this all the time in the apes and over on Reddit and Twitter and here on YouTube, where something will happen. Uh, for example, this is a very common one, and he even mentioned John Wick. Okay, the box office numbers. What happened this past weekend at the box office, right? So that doesn't matter. That does not matter at all, and that's how you get these situations where, let's just say, uh, a movie comes out and it legitimately crushes it. Okay, not like this, not like they're crushing the AMC investment or the AMC investment is crushing them, but it actually is like major blockbuster. Everybody and their grandma goes to see it, whatever, right? And then on Monday the stock is down. Well, now you can kind of see why, because the stock market doesn't care about what has already happened. It cares about what potentially what is probably or what the probabilistic outcome or the probabilistic eventuality is. So it's about the future, which is a good place to be. It's a good place to be thinking about, right? It's like, I'll give you an example. It's like driving down the highway or a road, driving a car or a boat, I guess, but driving. Are you looking directly in front of you? Are you looking at the front of your hood? Are you looking at the road directly in front of you? Are you looking, you know, a little bit medium field down the road? Are you looking far down the road? You're kind of scanning between medium and far, and it's one of those interesting things where, you can look out there straight out half a mile down the road, uh, and not really think about it. And you keep the car straight in the lane because you have this longer term view. And so that's the way that I think about it sometimes. It's like, and that's, that's a good way to drive. You're aware of what's in front of you and you'll be prepared for it. In a similar way, that's how I kind of envision or envisage stock valuations in the stock market. Okay, anyway, long tangent, but anyway, let me catch up here. Vertical integration is AMC's secret weapon. Yes, and AMC still can't turn a profit. A one-time deal for the popcorn at Walmart. Is that true, really? The one-time deal? So it's not going to be there permanently. Is that why it was on a like a four-way display in a main aisle with the Jonas Brothers popcorn and not in the aisle? I mean, I know how terrible it is to redo planograms. And I mean, how are you going to squeeze that in? I wonder, you know, well, I just wonder. I don't know. AMC ran up to 550 and then overhead supply crushed it right back down. Yes, appears to be the case. We'll take a look at that in just a moment here. And that's why you buy the rumor and sell the news. Buy the rumor and sell the news. So, yeah, how can we make sense of this here? Okay, the rumor is this is going to happen in the fill in the blank in the future. So, there's a future expectation that creates a hype, that creates a buzz, that creates a possibility for something good to happen, right? And then when it actually happens, if it actually happens, um, it's all, it's like anything else, right? The expectation, the anticipation of something is arguably more exciting than the actual thing. So you look forward to that trip to Paris for months, and then you go, and well, it's not as quite as I don't want to say romantic in like the lovey-dovey sense, but you've romanticized it in your mind because you've read these books and you took French in college and, whatever, you like French bread pizza. And you go to France, you go to Paris, and, they don't have French bread pizza and you don't speak. Yeah, you took French in college 20 years ago and you don't speak a goddamn lick of French. And so you feel like legitimately a foreigner. So the expectation, the anticipation, the idea of it was better, potentially, maybe, than the actual thing. That's what we're talking about here. So thanks, Bad Back, for that timeless phrase buy the rumor and sell the news. So, but the apes think it should be, you know, buy the rumor and buy the news. And well, I mean, this doesn't really work like that. This is psychology. This is straight up psychology. And that's really what it is. Okay. Um, no home location for the popcorn says a lot. It will sell or expire out of code. Ooh, yeah, good point. Okay. All right, let's continue here. Go back a little bit and
But the stock does not say that. The stock says that the company's not doing well, and that is for obvious reasons. They do not want you to understand why this is such a great investment. When you have 3.5
wait. They? Who are they? They. Now that's a very, very vague they. I mean, that is a scattershot they. Who are they? They do not want you to know. Okay. Um, Wall Street, the hedge funds, um, Adam Aaron. I don't know. Um, any of the other Muppets. They don't want you to know how good of an investment it is. They. Okay. All right.
the stock says that the company's not doing well, and that is for obvious reasons. They do not want you to understand why this is such a great investment.
That
When
makes
you
no
have
sense.
3.5 million
That makes no sense. I'm trying to think about how that makes a goddamn bit of sense, and I cannot do it. I can't do it. They don't want you to know how good of an investment it is? All right. Sure. Okay.
understand why this is such a great investment. When you have 3.5 million people doing anything at once,
Hmm. Here's this number again, 3.5 million. Does anybody know where did Adam Aaron say this recently? Did this guy say this recently? Um, I feel like he must have said this because now it used to be 4.1, now it's 3.5. Okay, so the ape army is down a little bit. We have some honorable discharges. It's a Purple Hearts, but um, 3.5 million. So 3.5 million people doing anything. I don't I don't remember where he took this.
5 million people doing anything at once. That is a problem for somebody. If
No. I mean, okay, sure. I guess maybe he could be right. It what I don't think he meant this, but it could be a problem for those 3.5 million people. So if there are 3.5 million people doing heroin, okay, statistically speaking, some of them are going to overdose, especially if it's their first time using heroin. Especially now, this day and age, with the with the fentanyl. So I hate to take it to a dark place, but no, 3.5 million people doing the same thing um, is not necessarily a problem for anybody except those people. And that could be true in this case as well, if this 3.5 million is actually accurate. Um, but let's flip it around. I mean, 3.5 million people buying a stock that that Wall Street has not that the experts, okay, and I just say the experts, the people that do this for a living. I don't do this for a living. This guy doesn't do this for a living. We don't do this for a living. Okay, so there's a certain amount of mm, credentials, qualifications, experience that makes someone more credible than other people. Um, so the pros, let's just say that the pros, this is one man's trash is another man's treasure. So it's trash to the pros, but the apes, the 3.5 million apes, it's a treasure to them. Um, I would say 3.5 million people buying garbage. Uh, yeah, may be bad for the individual 3.5 million, but I mean, let's look at the flip side of that. Who's benefiting from that? Who has benefited from that this time throughout this whole period? And, I think we know who has. So there are multiple people, multiple entities that have benefited, like Adam Aaron, like hedge funds, etc., institutions. So why I just feel like this is the wrong way to look at it. It's the wrong way to look at it. I mean, I thought this was supposed to be about fundamentals. I haven't heard really much about fundamentals at all, except some vague statements that are unsubstantiated and most likely false. So, I will continue because I want to see this through.
that is a problem for somebody. If 3.5 million apes are signed up for A-list, that's $70 million
Oh,
a month in revenue generated.
$70 million a month generated in revenue. Okay, but they do have that there is an expense that's associated with that. I mean, it's not like it's just all profit for one thing, but 3.5 million apes. Well, you said 70 million a month. So that means it's $20 per person per month. Okay, 70 million. So that's 840 million of revenue per year from A list. Now, they how many? I don't think that there are 3.5 million A list members. So let's see where this is going.
A massive increase from the 800,000 that were currently signed up. Think about it,
Oh,
guys. There's 800,000 A-listers, and there's 3.5 million shareholders.
well, they all spent their money on shares instead of A list.
800,000 brings us to $16 million a month in revenue from A-list. It's 70 million if all 3.5 million apes sign up for a $20 subscription Guys, I guarantee you have more subscriptions in a dollar amount to your streaming services than you do to AMC at this point. So if you
Whoa.
really
Whoa, that's a weird statement to make. Um, that is a very odd statement to make given the fact that these clowns, say that, oh, it's a false dichotomy. Um, it's a false dilemma. That's what it is. It's a false dilemma. Oh, theaters will always be around. Theaters are not going away. Nobody said that theaters are going away, but even he admits that even the apes subscribe to these streaming services. So, yeah, and they do subscribe to the streaming services because a lot of people do. And clearly, the 3.5 million apes, by and large, are not members of the rewards program, the A list, whatever. In fact, by his numbers, now, just by his numbers here, I don't know if these numbers are true or not, whatever. But by his numbers, about 22% of the 3.5 million. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 22%. So around 20%. Um, Now I'm not saying that they are the same 800,000, but just statistically speaking, by his numbers, it's a maximum. It's a maximum of. So anyway, um, very odd comparison to make there.
really looking to help your investment along, if you want to move this investment along, if you want to see that dividend, I believe it's coming in the near future. But
Hmm.
you're going to be paying yourself to go see movies if you're an A-lister someday.
Oh,
How do I know this? I believe, I believe that we're going to be out of the debt in the very near future. We
well, that's not the same thing as knowledge. Knowledge is not I mean, oh, knowledge is like knowing something because of evidence, because of some kind of fact, because of an firsthand observation, because of firsthand, being told by somebody else, being taught it, being shown it, reading it, something like that. But now you're talking about beliefs. Like, how do I know it? Well, I believe. Okay, but this is not church. We're not in church. We're not in church. We're not in temple. We're not at, evening prayer. This is like a quantitative field. It's numbers. Numbers number number numbers are like the ultimate truth in a way. So you uh, at no point in the game here does a mathematician say that they believe. I believe the answer is 12. I believe it's 12. If we can just, you know, focus all of our belief on 12, it will be 12. That's not how it works. So, I mean, again, there's a really concerning conflation here of belief and knowledge. Um, I don't know. See, I don't know and I don't believe. I don't believe that I know. There you go.
how do I know this? I believe, I believe that we're going to be out of the debt in the very near future. We have two
Okay.
things that are going to happen. We're going to
All right.
convert
All right.
after this lawsuit is thrown out. We're going to get a
Whoa, whoa. Okay. We're going to convert after this lawsuit's thrown out. So assumptions, you know, and now the lawsuit may very well get thrown out. It might get thrown out, might not get thrown out. I don't know. Somebody on one of the recent, was it, oh yeah, it was that guy, that city managing director or whatever who had seemingly no, yeah, that was really bad. That was really, really bad. Um, he said, and I mean, not necessarily this part, but a lot of what he said was bad, wrong. Um, the bylaws are clear. Okay, great. The bylaws are clear, but that doesn't mean that they don't contain unenforceable sections or phrases or ideas or anything. So I'm not, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but um, yeah. So why would we assume that? I mean, you got people assuming the opposite thing too, and they're supporters of AMC. So that's a bit jumping the gun as far as I'm concerned. So conversion. What about the conversion?
We're going to convert after this lawsuit is thrown out. We're going to get a co-brand.
I mean, if it was going to be thrown out, one might think that it would have been thrown out like before. I don't know.
Credit card from Visa. After this lawsuit is thrown out, we're going to get a co-branded credit card from Visa. And if you know how that works, great. If not, I'll touch on that in another video. And we also have this.
Okay, so we're going to convert. That's the first reason. The second reason is they're getting a co-branded credit card. Model 3, dude. Um, yeah. So a co-branded credit card. If you know how that works, great. Yeah, there's incentives that go both ways or whatever. I get it. But um I, okay. So a credit card. Well, that's pretty insidious actually, given the fact that credit card debt is at an all-time high pretty much. I actually think it is at an all-time high. Last time I looked it was approaching uh $1 trillion. Let's see here. Consumer loans, credit cards. Yeah, it is. Of course it is. So, yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you because I use data. So here's the data. Here's the data from the Federal Reserve of St. Louis. Um, consumer loans, credit cards, and other revolving plans, all commercial banks. So this was updated last Friday. I mean, and it goes back to 2000. Okay, that's far enough to go back. I mean, there's no way that credit cards are going to be higher back before then anyway. Look at this. I mean, this is interesting. I mean, isn't it absolutely fascinating here? Like what happened over this period? And so, as a matter of fact, this is actually very interesting. Here's where the meme stock craze really kicks off. It's in March, April, May, June of 2021. Now, also, it's when governors, these wonderful governors of these red states, like that, including the one I live in, said, "Yeah, look, we have a worker shortage. We have a shortage of workers. You need to go back to work now. In fact, we need you to go back to work so badly that we're going to terminate the unemployment that the federal government has guaranteed you. So, good luck. Nice knowing you." Um, which, when you think about that now, I mean, this is the outrageous thing. When you think about this now, think about that. And in this case, I'll take the hit on the they. Okay, but they is uh, the government. These Republican states governors, including Mike DeWine from Ohio. Okay, they said, um, we have a worker shortage. We need you to go back to work. It doesn't make sense for us to pay you to stay home when, because you don't want to get the flu. Get back to work, you snowflakes. We need you to make money for us. We are the owners. We don't work. We need you to work. We don't work. That's not what we do. We own things. That's our job is to own things and collect money. You do the work. We need you to do the work. Get back to work. Okay. All right. We go back to work. what happened 6 months later? All of the shit hits the fan because we have 10% inflation. I just, I will never not see the irony, the insidiousness, in that whole thing. It's a scam. It was a total scam. Anyway, I'm going off topic here, but anyway, this is the period when people started getting kicked off unemployment, basically, because it was supposed to go through September, but it didn't, and people had to start relying on other ways of financing things then, and they were running out of savings because they used a lot of it to pay off their credit card debt during the pandemic. Okay, this is like it's just like you can't make this shit up. This is this is our country. So anyway, yeah, credit card debt's at an all-time high, approaching 1 trillion because this is in billions. This is in billions. $968 billion, approaching 1 trillion. So to get excited about a credit card is like walking into, I don't know, take your pick of analogies. There's plenty. Walking walking into an AA meeting with a 6 pack of beer or something. I don't know. Anyway, um, is that really a great thing? Is it really such a great thing? And by that same token, is it really such a great thing that Adam Aaron goes on Twitter and hypes up the amazing food and beverage per patron numbers? Okay, yeah, you're fat. You're fat. You're all fat. Like I don't know. I just find it entertaining, really, um, because it's not even really that great. And well, anyway, let's see here. MMA last. What does that mean? MMA last. Um, MMA last? Not sure. The wild stats they spew and conclusions they make from them are just batshit. Yeah. There's no money in the credit card business for AMC. AMC is not a bank. AMC does not have a payment processing branch of the business. That's right. And even and this is the thing about payment processing. AMC when AMC started quote unquote accepting crypto, right? Um, a lot of these apes thought that that meant that AMC was accepting crypto. I guess technically they were, but not really. So there's a third party company in between the customer and AMC. And what is that? They take the crypto and they spin it around into US dollars and they give it to AMC in US dollars. So the apes were saying, oh, see, Adam Aaron is so forward thinking. AMC is going to have crypto in the bank. No, they don't have crypto in the bank. They use a third party to exchange that for US dollars because that's that's money. Basically. That's what money is now. So they need money actually in order to pay for things and to pay their employees and pay taxes. And so money is US dollars. So they need money actually. So they translate it into money so they can use it because what do you do with something that's, you know, like crypto? Anyway, can you see my can you detect my bias? I don't know. Anyway, um, AMC branded co-branded credit card. Awesome. I mean, that's exciting, right? Who wouldn't get excited about that? AMC causes diabetes. Yeah, that's what I was going for. AMC causes diabetes. AMC wasn't holding any crypto on their balance sheet. No, they weren't because they don't, there's no place for cryptocurrencies in business. Like, this is what, well, crypto bros, whatever, this is what I think a lot of people don't understand about these types of schemes. It's like, you know, saying that, you know, like I as a small business person, when I ran my small business, I accepted credit cards and it was revolutionary. I mean, really, it was great. It was like one of the best decisions I ever made was, and it was free. I mean, basically, it was free, basically. Well, I got the credit card reader from Square for free, and they took a small percentage of the transactions, and I could accept credit cards on my phone in 2010 or 11, and it was great because now people could just now everybody has a credit card or debit card. So, oh, I forgot the check. Oh, I'll write it you a check next week or whatever. Now you have no excuse not to pay me. Okay, no more net 30. Pay me now. You have a credit card, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, I got a credit card. Let's go. So I didn't. I'm not in the credit card payment processing industry business. I don't know shit about it. Somebody else does that, and they give me 9 and 7/8 of the money, and they take 1/8 or whatever, 1/8 of one part. That's all this is because businesses need actual money. Anyway, it was all a gimmick. Adam Aaron knows his gullible shareholders. Sadly, yeah. And I mean, does that make him a scoundrel or a genius? I don't know.
Conversion into dilution, where we can dilute some of the AMC stock, raise capital. Again, last time we diluted the stock from May to June, we saw
Oh,
the stock run up anywhere from around $15 to $20, all the way to $72 a share. And then as we ran out of shares, you saw what happened. The OBV remains the same, but the stock is down at
so many things here. So many things here. We talked about OBV last night extensively. I'm not even going to touch it, but he's wrong about that. OBV does not indicate whatever he says that it indicates. That's just not what it's for. It's not what it's designed for. It's not what it indicates. There's no way it could. If you had any logical critical thinking skills, you could figure that out based on what it uses. I'm not going into it anymore. That's wrong. Um, Now back to the dilution thing. So I guess the argument is that the dilution here was what caused this run up. Is that what he's saying? Because remember, the 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 popular lore is that the dilution causes AMC to run up. Now, I would really like to see that theory tested in an environment other than fantasy world of 2021, the first half ish of 2021, because a lot of things were not quite right then. A lot of things didn't react normally because there was this a lot of this shit that was how do I say? Well, there was just a lot of atypical phenomena happening in 2021, like people having all this disposable income, right? That would lead to this second anomaly that I'll mention, this insane volume here, this volume on the stock. Ooh, I didn't know it'd do that. This volume here, like seven, six, five, 4, 5, 6, 7 hundred million shares trading in one day, more than the float itself, which is pretty awesome. And it's not a sign of fraud or it's not a sign of crime. It's just a sign of high demand. There's a lot of people who want to buy this thing. Okay. So those things obviously stay at home. Lockdown is basically ending, but you have the tail end ish of the pandemic. Well, that's not quite true. I mean, we had another wave after this. Anyway, because that's yeah, that was not the greatest. Um, so yeah, to say that this is causation here, I think is a bit of a stretch, or it could have been causation at that time, but that's why I want to see the theory tested. Like the best theories are, the ones that end up actually being adopted and hold water have been tested. Um, Plain and simple. It's because something happens once, you can't say that that's how it always happens. Like this is evidence-based thinking. So yeah, let's test that out. Let's issue 200 million AMC shares and see if the price runs up like it did in the summer of 2021. My hypothesis is it won't because all of these other conditions are completely different. The conditions, the soil, if you will, that allowed this tree to sprout is washed out. This is depleted soil now. This was fertile soil. This was uh, anything you could want in um, dirt, basically. Now you just have a bunch of dried up ass um, sand or silt or clay, whatever it is where you are, it is lifeless. There's not even any bacteria in that shit. It's just totally useless. Dried out mud. Everything's gone from it. And it's a bleak existence. Will that same plant grow? Or are you going to need some miracle grow in that shit? Well, the feds ran out of miracle grow. All right, here we go. Continuing.
levels of $4.45 or $4.50 right now, which make literally no sense whatsoever. But it's obvious that they do not want us to raise capital on.
Oh, it's obvious that they do not want us to raise capital. Well, besides the obvious thing, obviously, I'm going to say something about obvious, but makes no sense. Okay,
$4.
let
He
me go back.
remains the same, but the stock is down at levels of $4.45 or $4.50 right now, which make literally no sense whatsoever. But it's
Make literally no sense whatsoever. Well, but see, that's the market. Um, this is the miracle of the market, okay? It's a modern miracle in the market because what you have is you have a collective discovery. You have a collective discovery. It's like a big Ouija board. The market is a Ouija board where you have millions of people with their grubby little hands on that Ouija board pointer, and it's being guided to the collective understanding, whatever the collective wisdom guides it to. The market is a Ouija board, basically, except it's not talking to the dead, it's talking to the future, basically. But um, that's what it is. It's a collective effort that everybody who participates in has a hand in, or yeah, a hand. They have a hand in it, the Ouija board, and they contribute their piece. And if you have more capital, you can contribute more. Your opinion is maybe more valid, not valid. More, you have a you have more of a say. If you don't have very much money and you buy half of a share, well, I'm sorry, you don't have much of a say. But you still do have a say because you bought it, and you're holding this thing and you think it will go up, so you're not selling it. But that's what the market says. And I'm guilty of it as much or more than anyone else. It doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Why are they doing this? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? That's absurd. Well, I think it is. But collective wisdom, the collective hand has guided it to there. So I have two choices. I can either accept that or not. And if I choose not to accept it, there's nothing I can do about it. So I can either, engage with it or not engage with it. But I can't change it single handedly. It's not how Ouija boards work. It's obvious If there's one person controlling it, they're just putting it wherever they want to. And that would be analogous to market manipulation, I think, in this analogy. But anyway, the market says it's 550, whatever, 515. Get over it, okay? Get the fuck over it, or get rich and buy, 500 million shares yourself and drive the price up. Until then, deal with it. Understand that it's not about what, oh, 3.5 million. Oh, there's 3.5 million of us. Whoop-de fucking shit. There's 3.5 million people who buy 20 shares, buy 50 shares, buy 100 shares at a time, maybe now. That's not enough to move the market. That's it's just not. So until you have the capital to do that, what are you going to do? You can either accept it or not. It's better to accept it because generally they get it right. Generally the market gets it right. I hate to admit that, but they do. And things get repriced, yes. But at the end of the day, uh, it's like the ultimate of crowdsourcing. It's voting with your wallet. Um, there's a million analogies, but that's the miracle of the market. It's a Ouija board. Okay, I got
It's
to get through
obvious that
this.
they do not want us to raise capital on our company. So if they're not going to allow us to dilute the stock and raise capital on our company, then it is our duty as shareholders to go and support our company any way that we can. And
Now, what? This statement baffled me
dilute
here.
the stock and raise on our company. So if they're
Our company, like his
obvious
company.
that they do not want us to raise capital
They do not want you to raise capital, but they also don't want you to know how great of an investment it is. Remember that from earlier? They don't want you to know how great of an investment it is. They also don't want you to raise capital.
on our company. So if they're not going to allow us to dilute the stock and raise
If they're not going to allow us to dilute the stock, okay, well, obviously we have a they issue here. Who are they? Why? They're not allowing you to, okay? But there's another tricky little thing here. It was the apes who denied Adam Aaron even the opportunity to put it to vote to the rest of the shareholders, which by the way includes more people than just you fucking apes. Okay? You don't represent all of the shareholders. The apes said no more shares until we have our squeeze in 2021 when the shares were overvalued, when the shares were way overvalued. Adam Aaron wanted to issue shares. The apes said no. That hurt the company. That hurt the company. That was an opportunity to raise money because that's the only time that any of this shit even fucking matters to AMC. When they sell the shares initially, that's the only time they get the money from the shares. And they could have gotten it at a very high, overvalued price. Maybe not as high, but higher nonetheless than they would be able to get at any other point that they will never have again. They never had that opportunity again because the apes were selfish and they said, no, we want a squeeze. So the apes, your group, were the ones who did not want you to dilute the stock, sir. You voted, well, you didn't even get to vote no. You whined and bitched and moaned and said, we want a squeeze. Then you can have more shares. Well, here you are. Now you're saying they're not allowing you dilution. I mean, what the fuck is this guy saying? What? What? I don't even. I do not get it. I do not get it. How? If there is an ape in watching this that can go in the chat and explain this fucking shit to us, please do. Like, explain to me how this fucking guy is making any sense right now, saying they're not allowing you to dilute when it was the apes' denial of even a vote on dilution that arguably either directly or indirectly placed AMC into the financial dire straits that they find themselves in right now. How is that wrong? How does this make any sense? Please tell us.
Raise capital on our company, then it is our duty as shareholders to go and support our company any way that we can. And the best way to do
Okay.
that is to get signed up for A-List, go buy popcorn, grab some drinks, grab some merch, go to Walmart if that's all you can afford.
But not go see a movie. So do all of the other bullshit, all of the other tangential peripheral bullshit that they offer, because at the end of the day, they make more money off of that shit than they do actually operating their core fucking business. Now, does that sound like a fucking sustainable business model? Does that sound like a company that you would want to fucking invest in because they're forward fucking looking? I mean, give me a fucking break. What a joke.
And
What
grab
a fucking joke. This has got to be a fucking parody. I'm waiting. Episode 69 is going to be like, "Hey guys, I was just kidding all those other times." See? What the fuck?
some popcorn there and keep this company's doors open because they are making massive
Yeah, keep the company's doors open, but you believe that for too long they're going to issue a dividend. So you're worried now about keeping the fucking doors open, yet you're going to get a dividend. Again, this is a joke, right? It's got to be a joke.
investments from the production. This company's doors open because they are making massive investments from the production studio side into our movie theater business.
What?
Apple just
Oh,
announced that they
okay.
will be putting $1 billion worth of movies into our movie theaters, and Amazon announced that probably about a month and a half ago as well. So your investment couldn't be healthier in AMC movie theater.
Well, that's disingenuous. That's fucking disingenuous. Why is that disingenuous? Because they're not investing $1 billion to make movies to put in your theaters. They're making they're investing $1 billion to make movies to put into theaters, not into your fucking theater. Will be released in theaters. Does it even mention AMC in here? Oh yeah, it does. Apple's plans will boost theater chains still struggling to recover from the pandemic. Theater chains, plural. Ticket sales remain a third below 2019, and two of the largest chains are on shaky financial footing. AMC has sought to raise cash by selling shares, while rival Cineworld filed for bankruptcy last year. So, no, it's not in your theaters, it's in theaters. Disingenuous.
As a business. And with our competition hanging on for dear life,
Um, okay.
hanging on for dear life, and us being healthier than we've ever been.
Healthier than you've ever been. Um, yeah, no. I mean, you haven't cited a single fucking fact, a single statistic, a single line from the goddamn balance sheet that would substantiate that statement. AMC is healthier than it's ever been. Really? Give me a fucking break.
This company could be one of the best investments you'll ever make in your entire life.
Could be. It could be. Well, yeah, you know what? I could be a trillionaire. I could be. I could be a figment of Chat GPT's imagination. You know, Tomorrow could be Thursday. No, but it's Wednesday. There's a lot of things that could be. Okay, Jesus.
Um, this is Chris with AMC. Just remember.
This is wait, Chris with AMC. So you work for AMC now? Did you just admit that? This is Chris with AMC.
One of the best investments you'll ever make in your entire life. This is Chris with AMC. Just remember, we run the show.
Oh, okay. No, you don't. So if you run the show, then this is the show you wanted to see. That you run it, so did this intentionally. This is intentional. We run the show. Yeah, we're just faking them out here. I mean, what the hell? What the fuck? So this is it blows my mind still that there is demand for this bullshit. Bullshit. This guy should stay on Twitter and run your little Twitter spaces, little circle jerks there. We don't need more of this shit on YouTube. But if you insist, if these guys insist on putting this shit out, then uh, it's going to get highlighted as misinformation. It is going to get called out. False statements, disingenuous statements, sloppy statements, generalizations, conflating beliefs with facts and not citing a single one, that's going to get called out hard. Okay. Because you can't do this now. You dig what I'm saying? You can't do this and expect it to, to just skirt by. There are people out here who care about the truth being represented. And quite frankly, it blows my mind that AMC doesn't care about the truth being represented. But this shit results in more people engaging in their company, then I guess why would you care? That says something about the leadership there. There are other companies who, you know, it doesn't matter if it's if you're, you know, over overstating our achievements or our shortcomings. They want the truth to be represented. We don't want misinformation. We want to tell you, we want you to know when we succeed and when we fail. And that's integrity. But anyway, I get too far ahead of myself there. Manuel was first on that comment. First with the comment there. He's first a lot of places. Okay. All right. Now, real quick here, I gotta get the hell off here. But so Amazon. All right. Here's a Forbes article about it. Amazon acquisition of AMC is extremely unlikely, analysts say, but AMC shares still soar 13%. So they're buying the rumor. Shares of AMC soared as much as 18% in Tuesday trading following an unconfirmed report that Amazon was nearing an acquisition for AMC for one-time meme stock darling, though analysts covering the companies characterize the deal as far-fetched. AMC investors bought into hype of a potential sale. Hmm. Okay. Um, I just wanted to see where this came from. AMC stock soared to as high as 550 after the Intersect, an upstart publication run by Los Angeles Times veteran Joe Bell Bruno, reported Amazon is exploring an acquisition. Okay, so let's look at that. There's a link. Here's the link. No thanks. Amazon may buy distressed AMC theater chain in seismic Hollywood streaming shift. May buy distressed. There's so many interesting words here. May buy distressed seismic. I mean, you're in California and you're using the word seismic. What an asshole. Hollywood Yeah. Um, is that really? I mean, that would be potentially a streaming shift, and it could even potentially be seismic. But this is all like hypothetical. Like, where's the proof? I'm looking for proof. Jeff Bezos can use a. This seems like bullshit to me, actually. Jeff Bezos can use AMC's 600 theaters and 200 million North America, Europe, and Middle East customers as, quote, marketing way stations, said one insider. No offers to the theater chain yet. Marketing way stations? Yeah, because that's what you are. You're fucking sheep. They're herding you in. They're gonna test you and weigh you and see what they can fucking sell you and push you out the door. And you will weigh less in a sense, but you might weigh more because of all the crap you ate, but your wallet will weigh less. What a bunch of garbage. What a bunch of garbage. These look at these people. They can't wait to get into Amazon looking at buying AMC. What is this? Damn, I make I swear to God. Okay. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos has dispatched his investment advisors and top entertainment chiefs to explore acquisition plans for embattled theater chain AMC Entertainment, according to multiple senior sources familiar with the discussions. The thinking is that Amazon can use AMC's nearly 600 theaters as marketing way stations. This would be used for promoting Amazon Prime movies for awards contention, cross selling services such as grocery delivery, serving as local distribution hubs, and collecting crucial data from AMC's annual 200 million. What? That sounds like complete fucking bullshit. They're not naming who said this. We don't know if anybody actually said this. It would also throw a lifeline to AMC, the world's largest theater chain, whose financials were torpedoed by the COVID pandemic, chased by Hollywood's cutthroat pivot to their own streaming services. The cinema chain, whose stock traded a year ago at $34 and now languishes at about $4, can be scooped up cheaply and without a major premium for just a few billion dollars. The discussions inside Amazon headquarters in Seattle and entertainment offices are fluid, and there's no certainty. One insider told The Intersect that Bezos may just bide his time should AMC's stock continue to erode or even pounce on AMC assets if the company buckles into bankruptcy. Strategy reminiscent of banking giant Barclays takeover of Lehman Brothers during the financial crisis. Yay. And what became of that? What does anyone remember about Lehman Brothers? This is a distressed asset, said one analyst who covers the company for a major investment bank, which would be in the running to represent one side of a potential sale. Buying this kind of marketing real estate is a coup. Rich Greenfield. Let's see. Now, this is an interesting one here. Any deal would allow Amazon to pick up a line of AMC branded perfectly popcorn merchandise sold in retail stores like Walmart and an interest in a South African gold mine. South African? Hycroft Wyckoff Mining is South African? Does Hycroft own shit in South Africa? What is the deal with South Africa? Does anybody know? All strategic moves Adam Aaron made last year to quickly diversify a company struggling with pure consumer economics. Yeah. And desperate, maybe desperate moves is better. Um, all desperate moves AMC chief Adam Aaron made last year to hastily, let's change that to hastily, um, here to diversify a company struggling with an outdated business model. Box office receipts plunged 70% during the worst of the pandemic. No fucking shit. No fucking shit. Okay. And are just now rebounding as studios release blockbusters like Avatar, Top Gun, and Indiana Jones sequels. Okay, great. All three fucking movies. Like this is an actual like This, I guess, is actually part of a series, a sequel. These, I guess that was too. I guess they're all sequels. But okay, they're all previous fucking movies. Why the fuck would I want to see another Indiana Jones movie? I mean, seriously, who the fuck wants to see another goddamn Indiana Jones movie? And I swear to God, if they use Harrison Ford, fuck them. Nobody wants to. Why? Who needs? No, because they have no fucking ideas. Because they have no ideas. It's remake this, remake that, put this into CGI. This one was animated. Let's do it as live action. Bullshit. Bullshit. And Jorge, why the fuck would I own AMC? Okay? I don't watch movies. I don't care about movies. I don't like losing money. Like those three things right there, no. Now, that's not to say that I wouldn't trade it, and I have traded it, and I've made money, and I've lost money, but I've made more than I lost. So, but no, I don't own AMC. I have no interest in owning AMC. Um, it was a South African company, really. I'm not familiar with that one. Um, I mean, yeah. Cineworld and Cinemark are cheaper than AMC, but they don't have the reach. They wouldn't be able to have their marketing weigh stations, Manuel. Come on. It's all about herding people into the weigh station, weighing them, and moving them through with a little bit lighter, with their wallets a little bit lighter. So, let's see here. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, this story seems like complete and utter garbage. I have to say, and you know, I'm joking a little bit here with the I hate movies. I don't watch movies. I mean, I haven't been to the movie theater. That's what I mean. I'm not going to go to a movie theater. Why in the hell would I want to go to a movie theater? Uh, that's the last thing I fucking want to do after work. But anyway, now sitting on the couch, um, making some generic Aldi brand popcorn in the microwave. Um, that sounds like a great time. Anyway, um, let's see. Aaron has tried to keep meme stock darling afloat amid accusations of hedge fund short sellers. Uh, that just doesn't even make sense. Aaron has tried his best to keep the meme stock darling afloat amid accusations of hedge fund short sellers and a vast financial journalism cabal. Mm, where's that sourced from? Intersect. Oh, he sources himself. It snagged the attention of vulture funds and potential suitors. The stock has fallen so precipitously that this SEC may be close to labeling it a penny stock. And there we get the actual reason for the reverse split thing because it'll be delisted. So this is pocket change for Bezos. I mean, great. Yeah, it's pocket change. That doesn't mean it's a good fucking investment. That doesn't mean just, I mean, spoken by somebody who has no money, has never had money, and will never have money. So this is pocket change for Bezos. Yeah, why not? He could just 120 million, 121 billion of mad money to play with. Joe, Joe, what the fuck? You are a fucking moron. Okay? You yeah, this is somebody who I mean, he's probably an ape, honestly. Let's look at the comments real quick and then I'm out of here. This feels like something you got paid to write poorly. Your article is ass. Lazy writing. Great article. We're close to the squeeze then Moas. Bezos for king, ape. Mm. It was written by ChatGPT. ChatGPT also interviewed 6 current and former Amazon executives. Amazing how AI works. Okay. You probably don't know what you stepped into. AMC Theaters is a heavily shorted stock. The hedge funds and banks shorting AMC will stop at nothing to keep the price down. You will get attacked here and on social media. AMC is doing much better financially. More movies are being released this year, and the retail popcorn is selling out at Walmart. One thing the article doesn't take into account is that AMC is 80 to 90% owned by retail investors. Therefore, retail investors would have to vote and approve a buyout. That is false. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. One of us. Therefore, retail investors would have to vote and approve a buyout. Not so much. Amazon won't be able to buy AMC for a cheap price. In my opinion, Amazon might be successful in buying a stake, but would have a very hard time buying AMC under $50 a share. That's my take. Well, it's a fucking dumbass take, Glenn. You're an idiot. Multiple senior sources. Bezos is CEO of Amazon. I thought he stepped down. He's founder. Oh. If this happens, Citadel's in big trouble. They better cover. They're not going to, Yanet. They're not going to. I'm not buying it. This rumor comes about on a yearly basis. Somebody wants to attribute the high volume and raising stock price to a rumor. The truth is, some hedge fund or bank is trying to close some short positions. Bezos is probably shorting AMC. The real story for the increase in stock will be out in 2 days. Amazon to buy AMC while a huge movie company sits in bankruptcy makes sense. Report this guy to the SEC. Why don't we report you to the SEC? Is that Ants Trades? Hey, is that Ants Trades right there, Anthony? Is this Ants Trades? I already wrote I already wrote a letter to the SEC. I'm faxing it in tomorrow. Bought some calls, did you, before posting this BS? Uh, Show us proof this isn't regurgitated news. BS. You should be reported. Recycled news. That antitrust law expired. Great article. Wow. Awesome. Mm, why not at these prices? Again, if you have that attitude, you will never have much money. Like that is not how wealthy individuals or um uh companies think. They don't just buy things because they're cheap. It's not how it works. I mean, it's just not. But you know what? This makes me think of.
This is what happens when you work to change things. And first they think you're crazy, then they
Yep.
fight you, and
Yep.
then all of a sudden you change the world.
Change the world. So easy. It's so easy to change the world. But then, you know, once you have the stress of changing the world weighing on your shoulders, what you want, sometimes you just want to say,
What do you fucking want from me? Get off my dick!
"Whoa, Trey, I'm not on it, okay? I'm not on it. I'm not on your D." But, you know, some people say, "Oh, it's just a glitch. Just a glitch." That 420 billion, trillion, quadrillion, billion market cap. Oh, it's just a glitch. But you know what we did?
Well, just a second there, Professor. We fixed the glitch.
Yeah. Come on, Scott.
You're being a little bitch.
All right. I had too much fun making those clips. So I had to throw them in. All right. Thursday night, possibly. We'll see. God, these guys are so fucking full of shit. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God. Oh my fucking God. But this is clearly, I think hopefully we can agree at least on this. That this shit, I mean, it sure seems like shill activity. I mean, I have detected shill activity here. So, and Tom Cruise would probably agree. Anyway, have a good night, folks. Appreciate you stopping by on a Tuesday evening. Um, have a good one, and we'll catch you probably on Thursday.